Hey, how y'all doing? It's been a long time. It's been a while. Welcome back to the Truth Hour. It's been a little minute, man. I'm glad to be back on. Um, my bad, I took a hiatus. What I'm gonna start doing, just to let y'all know, I'm gonna try to do a show once a week, every week, whether it's during the week or on the weekend. I'm gonna try to post a video once a week, just kind of keep y'all back on it. How can I? How should I start? The topic I want to talk about today is Sexy Red, the rapper who made that song Pound Town. Um, I want to talk about her being allowed to be in schools with kids, supposedly to help, uh, and that being acceptable by the school to allow that in the school system. That's the first topic I'm going to talk about. Second topic I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about the presidential race, uh, what we need, you know, number one for America, the world, and what we need specifically for black people. And then the third topic I'm going to talk about is just general miscellaneous stuff that I haven't spoken on since I haven't been on here consistently. So, main topic of the day: Sexy Red being allowed to be in schools, supposedly to give bundles and haircuts for the youth. All right, now let's break this all down. You have a rapper whose whole entire apparatus, how she got popular, was making the most degenerate, slutty, soft pouring hip hop song ever. Let me break it for you guys who don't know how the song goes. Um, I just left Pound Town. Pound Town is an innuendo for sex. She just got pounded out, basically, quote unquote. Her song goes, "My pussy is pink, my booty hole is brown." This is the song that your children are listening to. She's she says she's out here looking for the hoes. I'm trying to get a nigga to suck a bitch toes. She's basically saying slut, softcore, porno shit in her rap songs, and your kids are listening to this trash. Trust me, and they know the explicit lyrics. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to get her coochie stretched. You hear that? That's the song. This is the song. This is the song. And now this degenerate is allowed to be around your kids. Number one, why is the school board allowing that? Number two, she's slow. She's simple. Why is the machine allowing her to be in the school system? And number three, for those who are gonna challenge the video and talk about, oh, she was doing something good. Remember, the pilgrims gave the Indians blankets. The Europeans gave the Africans Christianity. Well, the white Jesus, quote unquote. All everything. Remember, the Trojan horse, they gave that to their enemies, and that gift was allowed to lay siege and take over an entire nation. Everything that's done, that's a gift, quote unquote, by our enemies, is all a means of control and takeover so that their agenda can pull through. Now, let me break down everything that I'm saying. Why was she in at these schools, number one? And then now she's doing an entire high school tour. Why is she at these schools, number one? The ruling class, those who are behind her, who let her do all of this, are trying to lower the bar of morality, decency, sanity, civilization to the point where your children will be allowed to be snatched up by the Jeffrey Epstein pedo rings, which is this entire ruling class and all of their um, functionalities, whether it's the CIA, FBI, police force, all of their apparatuses, the entertainment industry, to be snatched up and abused and sodomized and taken advantage of without anything happening and without anybody saying anything. That's the end goal of all of this. On a more immediate level, what's going on right now, this is the continued demoralization of the only group of people who can stop any of this hell on earth that's trying to be pushed on to the rest of the world. We're the last line of defense, whether people know it or not. The foundational black American man and woman is the last moral bar for the rest of the world. Everybody else in the world, if you look at it, have some decadency in their community. That's why everybody flocks to America. America, the land of promise and good and decency and all of that. What they're talking about is us. All of that positive shit about America is the black people who founded all of that. The family structure, having good morals, standing for truth, standing up against tyranny, fighting the good fight. Who do you think is that bar? That's us. That's black people. That's black people. That's been black people since they came here, since they brought over Africans, since they enslaved black people who were already here before. All of that, we've been fighting the good fight since they came here. We're still fighting right now. We're the last line of defense before they take this bad boy over. And but before I'm talking about the 1%. I'm talking about the ruling class. I'm talking about the royal elites. I'm talking about the Bill Gates of the world. I'm talking about the Peter Thiels of the world. I'm talking about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and those even more upper crust people that you don't get the names of. So that's what's going on right now, man. That's what's happening right now. Just making it plain. Just keeping it as plain as possible. And they are using hip hop to influence your kids. And they already see, number one, they're using this modern era right now of female hip hop right now was all a means of a Trojan horse that was laid back during the 2014 2015. Remember, let's go all the way back to we got to take it all the way back. We got to take it all the way back. We got to bring context to everything because things just don't pop up ever. Like, and I'm a historian. I'm also a philosopher. I'm a truther. I see what's going on. I have binocular vision. I see what happened prior, and I can predict the future because I'm in the present. So we'll start in the Bush era. So Bush, two failed wars, Hurricane Katrina disaster, and the economic crisis happened. Economic crisis for '08 to '09. Obama comes in. Obama comes in, quote unquote. Obama does nothing for the masses of our people, like the 99%. He said he was going to be an FDR type candidate. He instead became a usurper and a spin doctrine and did the bidding of the ruling class. And he famously said to the ruling class, I'm the only one stopping you from the pitchforks. Very evil. So that's what he did. That's what you got. So you got all this deception, all this decadency, and then you got which will be a natural backlash because we live in a racial white supremacist nation. The backlash being an onslaught onto the innocent black people who unknowingly didn't know what they were getting themselves into by voting for this guy. So his, how can we say, his constituents got hit because of his decadency. So the Trayvon Martin thing, Michael Brown, Sandra Bland, Fernando Castillo, Alton Sterling, George Floyd, all of this, Ahmaud Arbery, all of this, who was it? The Amber Geiger, I forgot dude's name, but him too, the person who Amber Geiger got. All of this was an apparatus of Obama being president and him fecklessly not doing anything for the masses of the people, and then him fecklessly not doing anything for his own base who put him in office, which were black men, women, and kids. And so by proxy, we got hit because of said thing. We shedded blood because of that pussy, straight up and down. So you have that panorama. In 2014, when the Ferguson uprising took off, and black men and women and kids were standing together like they hadn't done consistently since the '60s, what does our enemies always do? counterinsurgencies, Trojan horses, divide and conquer, spin doctrine. What did they do back in the 60s? They had the sexual revolution, the drug revolution, and the women's revolution. All of these three manifestations are counterinsurgencies to the genuine revolution, which is the Black Power revolution. So stay with me now, guys. I know it's a little complex. I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I get it. So 2014, you have all of that apparatus. 2015, guess what they started hitting you with? You started getting the slut rap in hyperdrive. They were like, oh hell no. And you started getting the women's movement in full effect again. Time's Up, Me Too, all of that came about. And at the top, on top of that, Hillary was supposed to be president. So you're going to have that whole mechanization and whole apparatus push. Remember, Obama famously said in the middle of the Black Power era, when Philando Castile and Alton got hit, uh, not about he wasn't talking about black people getting slaughtered. No, hell no. And oh yeah, I forgot the Charleston mass shooting by Dylan Roof. He wasn't talking about none of that shit. No. He don't care about that shit. He's a mulatto traitor. He cared about his white masters bidding. In order to preserve my legacy, vote in Hillary. That's one of his famous lines during when we were facing hell and when we were trying to get justice. And remember now, Freddie Gray, the Baltimore thing, when they broke his spine, and he famously called the people who were uprising against that evil tyranny, he called them thugs. So you have all of this content. I'll give you. I don't want y'all to forget. They try to trick you because Trump got in office and shit like that, and he was able to hide just how decadent Obama was. I hate the fact that these right wingers help out the left wing side so much because they're so decadent and evil that they allow the evil of the left wing to go unscathed. So people don't get a chance to fully see just how bad that piece of shit was. They only see Trump's shit. With Trump, we already know Trump is a fascist Mussolini wannabe. He's a piece of shit. We already know what the game is. But people did not see what dude really did when he got in office, bro, for those 8 years talking about Obama. They didn't get a chance to really understand how egregious he was, how bad that was. Not only just for America, but for black people in general, man. Like, man. Okay, but but this is all tying in. Now, let me go back to the sexy red thing. Why we have a sexy red being able to infiltrate a school like that. So remember, we were fighting together during 2014, and remember, drug revolution. Now that's why you hear Molly Percocet. That's why you hear all that, all the psychotropic drugs and all that, bath salts and all that getting popped off. Our enemies, the ruling class, understands how to counter our moves. Every time we take a step, our enemies take a step. They try to counter everything we do. That's why you got to be hyper vigilant. This isn't just some entertainment. Oh yeah, I'm thugging with my rounds, and you know what I'm saying. You just doing your little itchy eye, you just getting down. No, man, it's all warfare. Everything that our enemies do is warfare, but they disguise it as entertainment. They disguise it as innocent. Nothing they do is innocent. Whether they're pushing in AI with the Rona junk, everything that they do with technology, every single thing that they do is warfare. They feel like they only can survive through warfare, through means of degeneracy and decadency. That's just how they think. So let's tie back in. Let's go back into sexy. So 2015, you get the Time's Up, this and that. We countered their move because we didn't vote, and so Trump got in. But they still moved it regardless. So 2016, 2017, you get So 2015, 2016, you get the presidential election. 2016, Trump gets elected. 2017, you get the first thing before Trump even got elected, you had the women's movement or whatever, where they had the women's movement. They still pushed it regardless. So then in 2018, when we were all back on the team or whatever, 2017, you had the Nipsey Hussle album, you had the Damn album. So you know what I'm saying? The black community was jumping again. You know what I'm saying? We was feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And then 2016 all the way to 2017, you had Colin Kaepernick. So all of that wave was still pushing. So what they do in 2018, when Black Panther dropped, we all went to the movies and we saw Get Out as well. So all of that, we was together on that. What they do in 2018 to counter us being on Black empowerment? You had the royal wedding. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Another split. And then you had Time's Up. You had Me Too, 2018. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Karens were calling and the Freds were calling the police trying to get us hit. And you had all of that in 2018. But remember, the propaganda never stops. So we weren't countering it enough. So then in 2018, 2019, you had Amber Gallo situation. 20, and at the same time, 2019, 2018, 2019, what you have around that time? Hot girl summer. So now you're getting the picture. You're starting to understand the game. And remember now, because their first plan didn't work, they came up with another plan. They're like, hold on, okay, it's not enough. We use our counterinsurgency. We need another Obama, but this time Obama in a skirt. So we'll get two in one. We'll get the woman and we'll get the Negro. So what they try to do in 2019, they tried to get Kamala Harris in as president. But by this time, we had already been peeped game to the ruling class's apparatus. So we were ready for Cory Booker and Kamala and whoever else they tried to maneuver. And we smashed that candidacy. Kamala was supposed to be president, and if not Kamala, Cory Booker was supposed to be her backup. We smashed Cory, we smashed Kamala, and she had to bow out because we were so on code, man. We were so on point. We already knew we was not about to get another Obama, this time in the skirt, where it's all good, hunky dory, but yet behind it is a whole demonic, degenerate propaganda, basically. So, and here we go. And meanwhile, the machine's ploy was to continue the slut rap. So you got the Cardi B, the Megan Thee Stallion, the Nicki, the Drizzy, the Doja Rat, all of this being pushed through the being pushed through the airways, being pushed through. So you fast forward. So 2019, the Trump still looked like he could get reelected. The ruling class didn't want that because he wasn't. He was saying, number one, he was saying too much stuff, and he wasn't following the script good enough. So they need a better puppet who then also made it look like the U.S. was being progressive. So that's why they had Kamala. But we were countering Kamala. China wasn't going along with the Hong Kong thing. The ruling class wanted to, bring that, recapture that. You know what I'm saying? Russia was doing a little too much too. And the stuff started getting exposed with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. So, what you have in 2020? Called the Rona. The 2019, 2020, what you have? The Rona apparatus. They had to reset the world because they were about to get got. The 1% was about to get exposed for their pedo ring. It's called the Jeffrey Epstein pedo ring, but he was their how can we say it? Their retriever, basically. He was their retriever. He would retrieve it, but for them, for their demonic shit. That's who he was. So you have that going on, and then remember now, all that was being exposed, and then in 2020, the George Floyd uprising took off. So now black people once again back on the together thing. Men, women, and the kids fighting for righteousness, fighting for black power, fighting for justice. So what do you have to do when you're doing it? What did I tell y'all? Women's revolution, drug revolution, sexual revolution. So what they hit you with? The divide and conquer strategy. What was the first thing they hit you with? Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, Will Smith, Jada, uh, WAP, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B song in the middle of the uprising. In the middle of the uprising. You know what I'm saying? So they hit you with that. Then they hit you with Kevin Samuels bullshit. Then they hit you with. Then they brought back. Oh, they're like the ruling class was like, oh yeah, they back. NFL, NBA, everybody come back. Let's go. They hit you with the distractions again. So that was all apparatus. Remember now. Let me tying back into Sexy Red. Why she's here now. WAP came out in 2020 in the middle of the Black Power uprising. That was, you think that's an accident? You know what I'm saying? And further putting us down this decadent rabbit hole that we're in. So that's what's going on. So that now you fast forward all the way 3 years later to this sexy red thing going on. Why is she allowed to be at a school right now? What is going on right now? Why are the kids being propagandized to be over sexualized at such a young age? You have a ruling class whose goal it is to lower the bar. They have been trying to usher in all these chaos era, confusion era behaviors. That's why they pushed in Obama and his agenda. If you know, you know. That's why they pushed that all that. That's why they've been normalizing it. And now since they have propagandized the women enough to accept their manifestos, they're now going to hit the kids now because they have the women subdued enough. All you need is a little bit of money and a little bit of praise, and everything's a go, as you can see. A little bit of money, a little bit of praise. They ain't giving them a lot, but they give them a little bit of money, a little bit of praise. You go, girl, shake your ass. Yeah, you got them kids at home, and yeah, they watching your Twitter, and yeah, they school kids gonna see that they best friend mama busted it wide open for the star player on the high school team, and yeah, that's gonna be a try, but it's all okay. It's empowerment. It's all the green lights, all the go. That's what you got right now, bro. That's what you got. You have all of that happening right now. So all that's to go. So now, 3 years later, you have what's going. You see what's going on right now. You see what the deal is. They're lowering the bar enough to where the Jeffrey Epstein's of the world are seen as normal. That's why you see the Balenciaga ads come up. That's why every couple of years you keep seeing these. Hey, pedophilia isn't. It's just a sexual orientation. You see them they're trying to find a way. Oh. Can we get in now? Can we get them now? They keep every couple of years they keep doing a pump fake, and then they keep pretending like, oh, sorry, we don't know how that happened. Oops. These monsters are trying to really like the boogeyman under your kid's uh, room or whatever. These boogeymen are trying to come up from underneath your kid's bed and be in your kid's bed, and that's why I'm so hell bent on making sure that no damn sexy red can be in nobody's school. You should not be normalizing the over sexualization of the kids in any regard. And the problem right now is not only is it the young women co-signing this shit and not having no class or no morality about themselves, the older women, the class women, the professional women, the women who are supposed to have some sort of standard are the ones busting it open, co-signing it, calling it empowerment, being like, oh hell yeah, all this shit. They are hyping it up. They are putting it into hyperdrive. All part of the ruling class's apparatus. They It's all a part of the game, but they're co-signing this shit, hook, line, and sinker. So now we tie this all into Sexy Red right now. Sexy Red is allowed right now to be in the kids' school because this is the first play. They've been playing it, but this is the first real major play in them directly targeting the kids for even more degeneracy. For even the more degeneracy, y'all. Even more degeneracy. That's what I'm saying. That's why they keep trying to have quote unquote these weird bathrooms. They want them in the schools. So the teacher who's confused can go in a girl's bathroom. The woman who's confused can go in the boys' bathroom. You don't think nothing gonna happen when that go down? You already know about in the white schools the teachers having situations with the what you call it with the students. You already have too much where the you already have a lot where the teachers are having sexual relationships with the students. You already have too much of that. You already have too much of that, man. You have way too much of that right now. So you think that's gonna go down? Now that more lawlessness and degeneracy and more decadency is being allowed and being normalized in the schools, it's gonna happen in even more perpetuity and even more egregiousness. And all these other people are just looking at it like, just like the priests do in these churches. Oh shit, I can just pretend and get in. They have the Birdman hand rub, basically, which what's going on right now. Oh shit, hell yeah, let me go ahead and help these kids out. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to help, man. They trying to cause hell on earth and lay siege to your babies, man. Y'all need to understand this. Y'all need to give a fuck again. Enough people need to stand up again, give a damn again, because if not, it's nothing. It's gonna be hell on earth, and I'm tired of hell. The people deserve heaven on earth. I'm tired of hell. Hell ain't shit. Y'all should be tired as well. Y'all shouldn't give into despair. Woe is me. I'm only one person. What can I do? There's a lot you can do, man. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do. And if you feel the same way I do, man, leave that comment and let's start organizing. I want to start getting us aware and us active, city to city, state to state, nation to nation, worldwide. Because this needs to end, man. This degenerate stuff needs to end. And Sexy Red, man, this whole slut rap era, this whole over masculinized inversion rap needs to end. That's the problem with the hip hop game right now. You don't got no consciousness right now. You got, J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? But he's from my era. You don't got no young people from this era, the Gen Z era of music, spitting that positive hip hop. The ones who are left, Kendrick and Cole, even though Kendrick kind of went gone left, the really J. Cole is from my era. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's from my era. He's from the millennial 30 years old and up era, or late 20s and up era. All the 25, 26, 27 and under, like, they don't got nothing. Their music right now is this. You know what I'm saying? This effeminized mumble rap on the male side. You know what I'm saying? Where they talking about drugs, they talking about blowing, killing, fucking a bunch of women and this and that, and then on the female side they talking about how much they finesse the dude, or how many times they talking the inversion of the dude, and they're trying to make that like that's a thing, like, and they're blurring the roles too. That's another form of inversion and chaos and confusion. They're trying to. That's why they have all the women using male terminology. That's not an accident. That's not an accident at all. All of that is part of this thing right now. And the problem is, a lot of them are buying into it. They're seeing it as empowerment. And that's the problem too. Because we live in this inverted, decadent white supremacist world, it has too many of our women thinking equality means the same. And in order for you to be equal, you gotta do the same fuck shit as some degenerate man. Number one, men ain't degenerate. Real men ain't degenerate, bro. Real men don't be on no fuck shit for real. They stand on morals and positivity. They're not abusive. They're not bullies. That's another thing too. They're imitating the worst concept of what they think a man is. A bully, a tyrant, over masculinized, being rude. Like, hey, oh man, that's a bully. That's a demon. That's an abuser. That's a tyrant. A real man stands on his character. He's compassionate. He's loving. He helps. He's brave. He's courageous. He does what he needs to. He stands for what's right. He protects his family. He loves on his lady. He's committed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what a man does. Takes care of the kids. Takes care of his community. You know what I'm saying? He stands up for what's right. He fights the good fight. You know what I'm saying? And he fights against white supremacy. That's what a good black man does, man. I'm just keeping it a grip, boy. He got a soul, a real rap. Ain't no bully. You know what I'm saying? And And on the opposite end, our women don't need to be a man to be equal, because your femininity makes you equal in its importance. It's not about the same. We have different roles, but they're equal in its importance. If you try to do somebody else's role, then that leaves your role vacated. So then there's an imbalance. And as we have right now, there's a clear imbalance. So that's what's going on, man. That's really what's going on. That's why, I'm being honest, that's why I needed to make this video. That's why I really needed to make this video, because man, this shit is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I apologize for being on the sidelines for so long. I just been a lot, man. Personal life, I had to get a lot of stuff settled and a lot of different things and things like that. So, I had to take care of myself first. And now I can, give to others. Because if you don't got nothing for yourself, then how can you do for others? So this is me giving back to the others. This is me, once again putting myself out there, putting my truth out there, so that our people can fight, man, can fight back, can stand up against this and resist this. Because this ain't it. This is not it. Not by a long shot, man. We're better than this. Just as a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, as the moral fabric of the world, we are better than this. We are. We are. We are. I know there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of bullshit that's out there, but the ones who care are still out there. The ones who want to do better are still out there. They just need to know that more people are like them, so that they don't lead themselves into despair. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're the only one, sometimes you gotta be a one man army. That's what I'm learning. You gotta be a one man army. You gotta keep your principles. You gotta keep that foundation. You gotta keep pushing, even when it's dark. Even when you're the only one out there. Remember, in the Matrix, Revolution, not the trash one, Resurrection. In the third Matrix, he goes back in the Matrix, and he's the only one left. Everybody then gotten Smith. Basically, what's going on right now? Everybody then got Smith. You feel me? Everybody that got white supremacists co-opted. Whether it's feminism, Bouleism, classism, sexism, LGBTQism, everybody then got white supremacist, bed winching, bed bucking. Everybody then got warped one way or the other. So he the only one walking. Sometimes you gotta be the only one walking around all the Smiths, and then you gotta fight hard as hell, and eventually it'll be your day, as it was when Mr. Anderson finally stepped to Mr. Smith and saved the day. Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to be that one person in the darkness, still with that guiding light, pushing through. So I just want to just basically say, I want to enter this era of music, this era of decadency, and just really a renaissance of morals again, a renaissance of positivity, goodness, just the highest virtues right now. That's what we need. We need to end all of this. We need to end it. And like I said before, like, we really need to lead our kids, our families, our communities, our women, as black men, in a better direction. The ones who going to be on this shit, they'll be outliers if we stand on our square. We can't just always be like, well, they're not listening and if we lead them, bro, in the right way, enough of our women will follow suit, to the point where those women will be seen as outliers and seen as enemies of the community, as they justly are. If we just bullshit and sit in the back, laissez faire, then they'll be seen as, oh, it's just what it is right now. We don't need to just allow things that we know is wrong to just continue being wrong, because a bunch of them are on that. When enough of us stand up, everybody else stands back. Like I said before, like I noticed, the more resilient and the more we fight, the more we win. The more we go past say and we take a step back, the more the enemies win. Every time we fight and we stand on truth and we're courageous and we're bold and we push through, we win. Every single time we win. The problem is we get too comfortable in victory because I understand it's been a while since we had victories. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while. So when we get victories, we're like, yeah, we got this. You know what I'm saying? Victory has defeated us. That's a famous line in Dark Knight Rises. Bane said that shit to Batman because he beat Ra's al Ghul and he beat the Joker. Victory defeated him. He stopped fighting after he won. I know I saw that, and it's funny he said that because I remember when I was working out like relentlessly, and I got to 400 pounds as my max. And I was like, wow, that's 4 plates and a 2.5 or 5 on each side. And I was like, damn, I got a 400 pounds. Like after that, ever since that time period, it's been years ago. I have not gotten even close to that. Victory defeated me. I didn't have a goal outside of that. I didn't have a. It was like, oh, okay, what's next? Like, it wasn't like I didn't push after that. Like I was pushing so much to get to that point. Once I got to it, I was like, oh, okay, and I went right back down. That's what happened with us. Every time we win something, like we won our freedom in slavery, so called, and then we chill, and then we won quote unquote civil rights. Then we chill, and now we're in this third mechanization, this third stage. You know what I'm saying? We're on this. I feel like we're at the boss level. We're at the boss level now. That's why it's so crazy or whatever, and so tricky. We're at this last stage right now. That's why this time it's like taking so much momentum this time to push through, because it's like we let victory bring us back down. We didn't keep pushing forward when we had the momentum. So now we have to ratchet everything up and regain momentum, and then this time not give it up. So you know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff that I've picked up on and I've seen, and that we need to be more vigilant. We need to work on, and that's myself included. I'm not above it. I am analyzing it. So, um, just one more thing with this sexy red thing. Like, it's like, like honestly, like we need also to get our self esteem up, like black men. Like, bro, like just like Dr. Khalid Muhammad used to say, you can't relate to a woman more than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And women, you don't got more self respect than that. That's that's a hit maker for you. That's the one that do it like that. Like something just so vulgar and so classless and so like dehumanizing and you know what I'm saying? Like just so lowbrow. Like we like men, y'all you deserve to be with something with more character. Women, you deserve to have more self respect than something like that. And kids, y'all deserve to be innocent. Like for real, just keeping it a grip, man. Like it just need to be better, just all around. You know, it's tough. It's tough, and I just want to say like them administrators, the parents, the entire machine, everybody needs to have their names out for the masses to know so that they can get these calls and get told this is not acceptable and this will never be okay ever, 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 ever. 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, no matter how much propaganda you keep pushing out, this will never be okay. We're never going to allow this demoralization and pedophilia and over sexualization to be the norm when it comes to kids. And we're going to raise up the standard and morality of humanity and of the black community, because our women deserve it, our men deserve it, and the kids deserve it, man. For real. The family deserves it. And that's real. I, sorry, this topic was so long winded. It's crazy. It's just tough. It's just tough when it's tough. But what's the second one? Oh yeah, I said I was gonna talk about the presidential race right now. Uh, and what should be what needs to be done for America and the world just in general. So right now we got Lunch Bucket Joe. He hasn't done diddly squat for the black community. Inflation is high as fuck, and wages are stagnant. The people have to do way more just to live a decent life than ever before. Let's just keep it 1,000. And there's people out there who will say, well, right now you have to live in the real world, and the real world is either it's the U.S. and the Western powers or Russia and China. I say no to any of that. I don't. The 1%. It doesn't need to be like that. The Russian imperialistic ambition doesn't need to be like that. And China's bid for world domination and the she who must be obeyed era doesn't need to be like that either. This totalitarian white supremacist, wannabe white supremacist, militaristic, tri world, tripartite, triune world, tripod world. It don't need to be like that in any form. So I'm against imperialism altogether. I'm against totalitarianism altogether. So I'm not okay with any of these people, any of these ways of power being in charge. I want the US to stay as the stable going forward with us reforming it from within. I don't want China to take over with these debt traps and decadency. I don't want Russia to continue attacking and having recolonization of the Soviet Union and all of that, and just bloodshed and all that. I don't want that either. But if we're gonna be honest, why is the Ukraine the way it is? It's the way it is because the Western powers, NATO, CIA, MI6, the ruling class and their apparatuses decided to create a coup in 2014 to overthrow the president of Ukraine, who was a pro-Russian president, because he didn't want to join the EU and didn't want to go along with their decadent plan. It's what I'm saying, and NATO and all of that. So they couped him. That's why this whole thing got started. Am I okay with Russia lying and invading the Ukraine with no pretexts? No, I'm not okay with that. But tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the whole entire truth. You know what I'm saying? Don't just, oh, well, we're right here right now, so we gotta, no. Tell it all so that Russia can be handled and taken care of, and the Anglo-American ruling class, who's the uh, mastermind behind all of this world the way it is, can be handled. And as well with China too. China's totalitarianism and their push and their bid only is allowed because the U.S. decided to offshoot the manufacturing plants, which used to be in the U.S., and push it over to China because China had no unions, no real child labor laws, low wages, pennies on the dollar, suicide nets, because the people had to work basically to death to the point where they would commit suicide, and they didn't even want them to even be able to do that, so they had suicide nets to stop them. Millions of people in concentration camps, the Uyghurs. I know about China. China ain't shit either. It's totalitarian as hell. That one party per state, the princelings that come out of Mao's decadent organization. I'm not in favor of that either. I'm not in favor of the British, the Anglo-Sino bloc either. So that's not it. That's not it. That ain't it. So let's be clear. Now, let me tell you what the world needs straight up. The world needs the FDR system. Really, well, I'm not even gonna give credit to FDR because he had problems as well too. The world needs the just system right now. The system of Mayat. We're gonna go to the ancient Kemetic, the black system. The world will be better off right now if the righteous, morally sound true black men and women and kids took over and reset the world the way it needed to be, the world would be better off. Let's just be honest. The entire world. People haven't thought about this to that level before. That's the problem too. They haven't really thought about it. Like, why is the things the way they are? Well, what's going on? How can China and Russia and the U.S. do all this decadent imperialism and millions of people are in billions of people are in poverty, and everything's not okay because the wrong people are in charge. That's what's going on. That's why the world is the way it is. The 1% is in charge, and they have the resources of the night of basically 90% of the world, and the other 99% have basically a percent to fight over. That's number one. That's in charge. Number two is the way the world is right now, ruled through evil and fear and the low vibrations and all that, set up by the ruling class and the white supremacist system and all the wannabes that go along with it, and their system of devilment and Satanism. That's what the problem is right now. These group people are in charge. Their system is what I just said it is, and the wrong people are, and the right people are not in charge. A system of Maya, a system of goodness, a system where people prosper, civilization, heaven on earth, peace, prosperity, happiness, joy. Like the highest virtues are just the norm, where it's not utopian, it's just what it is. That's the problem right now. In order for it to get back there, said people need to first elevate themselves and then elevate the world once again. That's what's going on right now. That's what the real problem is right now. That's really what the problem is. That's why it is the way it is. So I just told you about imperialist China, imperialist Russia, imperialist Anglo-American powers. So now let's talk about the presidential race. We got RFK Jr. We got Biden. We got Cornel West. We have uh, the the Satan or the sanctimonious Santos and all these other people. Tim Scott, Mike Pence. We got T. Raw Trump. Oh, if he can get over his court case and not go to jail, we got all of that. We have all that right now as a presidential candidate. And honestly, I'm not in favor of none of them. The most I'm probably in favor of is Cornel West if he passes reparations, and RFK if he's does what he says he's gonna do with economics, with countering imperialistic China and Russia, and really setting the world back on a positive FDR MLK type thing. But if he's not gonna do that, if he's just gonna be another Trojan horse, then I'm not okay with him. I'm not okay with Cornel West if he's just gonna be a Trojan horse. I'm definitely not okay with Biden continuing to lie and deceive and not do things for the black people who put him into office, and continue to allow them to get slaughtered and not get reparations. And it's automatic. I don't fuck with the right wingers in their fascist imperialistic state too of white supremacy and decadency that they want to push onto the U.S. and the rest of the world because they feel like this is their last stand because they're at negative birth rate. So I don't fuck with any of that shit. Keep it 1,000. Now let me tell you where America needs to be. Basically, America needs a return to the FDR Economic Bill of Rights that would have been passed had he not died or was poisoned by the ruling class of that day, which is just a continuation of the ruling class now. Y'all could read as he saw it. His son said what I'm saying to you in his book. So y'all go ahead and read that. And Stalin told him that, told his FDR son that. So if you're hearing that from Stalin, that means Stalin's intelligence agency told him that. So that just gives y'all context. So a FDR economic bill of rights where every person has a right to a house, car, adequate wage, universal income, food, clothing, shelter, a manufacturing sector where there's high wage, high skilled economy, living wages, modern roads, modern infrastructure, highest of technologies, electric grid, the whole full apparatus right now. That's what's needed. That's what's needed right now. That's what's needed. And a full social safety net so that people don't fall through the cracks. That's what's needed. An entire apparatus so that people can live and live in the highest means of what it means to be human, which means heaven. To be human is to live in heaven. God did not intend you to be here so you can live in hell and live in decadency and poverty. That's not God. That's the other guy. That lets you know who the ruling class worships. The ruling class worships that other guy, the devil. Ruling class is down with that piece of shit. Ruling class ain't down with God. If y'all don't know, because God will not create a world like this, straight up and down. God wants heaven. God wants heaven on earth for everybody who's just and true and has the highest virtues and who lives righteously. So, you know what I'm saying? So, Economic Bill of Rights, FDR system of economics, American system of economy, where that, you have an idea, you get funding for it, education, training, just a full panorama, man. Modern infrastructure, tariffs, protectionism to protect your new industries. You know what I'm saying? Just a full set economy. Full set economy. That's what we need right now. Now, our enemies, oh yeah, our enemies, the Wall Street banksters, the 1% tech giants, all the whole apparatus, they want trickle down economics, aka meaning that's why if you listen to the Jamie Dimon CNN thing, I mean if you trickle down economics, so I don't think that's the problem. All of that bullshit. That means all the rich have all the money and they give you the crumbs if there's any more on their plate. That's basically what trickle down economics is. Basically, all the money that the poor make for the rich goes up to the rich, and then they may sprinkle you down a crumb if there's anything that rolls off they beard or whatever. Fuck no. The money deserves to go to the people, the masses, the families, those who are in need of it, not the overly wealthy who exploited it, whose origin seed money comes from degeneracy and genocide and slavery. Like, you want to be honest? Come on, let's just keep it a bean, man. These people got to where they got through, not through just means. They got through where they got through doing the most decadent shit. Let's just keep it 1,000. And everything that they have now is a means of covering all that up and continuing the game as if they somehow did it righteously. So that's what it is right now. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So economics, the whole thing will be high wage, high skill economy. FDR style of economics, New Deal. That the New Deal that includes everybody. So black people are included in that high skill, high wage economy. All of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's protected as a citizen of the United States. We have a means or a thing where we look out for our people first who are here. You know what I'm saying? We focus on the people who are here first, and then we worry about outsiders second. Like the immigrants, we worry about that after. So then we have a border that's good. We make sure that we're not overdoing it overseas for a decadent imperial war to further maintain the Ukraine in some sort of system of imperialism, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I okay with Russia pretexting it? No, I'm not. And if we can come to the negotiating table and get Russia out of there, cool. But we have to put everything in its proper context of what happened, what's going on right now. And also, we need to put China on check too. You doing all that imperialism in Africa? No. You know what I'm saying? Let Africa get developed. We need to start telling the truth and really putting things into context so that things go the way they need to go. And these imperial wars by all three superpowers need to go: Russia, China, the U.S. So that's what I'm in favor of: anti-imperialism, anti-white supremacy, anti-decadency economic system for the masses. So that's that. Now, what do black people need? Black people deserve to be a protected class off rip. That's the first thing that needs to be done. Before reparations, before any of that, protected class so that automatic death penalty for anybody who harms a black person, any sort of racism, all of that. That would end all of that exponentially. You know what I'm saying? That would end all of that immediately. Like, you know, that would end all of that uh, expeditiously, as Ti would say. So we need that, and then also we need to have reparations in the form of money, but also a full set economy. So everything that we would use, buy, sell is black owned. Our own manufacturing centers, our own means of cars, everything that we touch. If it's lights, we own the light bulb. We own the electric company that we are getting our electricity from. Everything. If we have a TV, it's black owned, black made, black manufactured. All of it, a full set economy. That's the reparation will be. Protected class and the full reparation. So that's cash, and the cash would not be endless. So it's kids in perpetuity. Since slavery was perpetuity, the same thing needs to be done on that end. So that's what it will be. And protected class, because we already know as soon as, you know what I'm saying, as soon as we get some, we already know all our enemies will be chomping at the bit, angry or jealous, and trying to get Rose with us and Red Summer us again. So, boom. And we need to have training. So, our own, standing police force, own army, just in case, you know what I'm saying? Y'all slip up and try to do something as a means of self defense. So that's what the reparation will be. And full state economy also means all royalties and stuff that was stolen from us will be taken back. So inventions, music, everything across the spectrum, all of it, movies, the entire thing, all of it. So that's the reparations. Just to make it plain, just to keep it plain, and also us getting the training we need so that we are able to do these skills, inventory, so we know what we have, what we don't have. We know what we need to work on and do. You know what I'm saying? A full line of credit that's 0% interest for whatever. That's also part of it too. Um, what else? Materials. Uh, Also mental health, spiritual health. Us tapping back in so we have to repair ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, socially, all forms of our being. So we're a whole people again in name and in deed. So that's what the reparations will be. So everything I said, universal income, reparations, economic bill of rights, the American system of economics, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and also too, getting rid of this 1% that getting ruling class. That also will be what needs to happen too, because we don't need a ruling class, especially the one like this. You know what I'm saying? We don't need them. Matter of fact, they depend on us for their power. And they depend on us not knowing that they are in power. And they depend on us always looking towards something else so that we're not focused on them being in power. You know what I'm saying? And we would need a truth convention. Tell the truth about slavery. Tell the truth about what's been going on. Tell the truth about them. And we need them brought to justice for pedophilia, for slavery, for imperial wars, for the stuff they're doing right now, for the criminality, all of that shit. Everything that they've been doing, shine their crimes to the light and have them be sentenced to justice for real. So that's what would be needed, both domestically and worldwide. So, facts. And uh, what can we say? What can we say for the world? What can we say? Oh, I already said the world thing. So I'll return to my yacht and all the truths and universal truths and all of that. What else? What other miscellaneous stuff? Oh yeah, stuff I've been into. I would encourage everybody to, number one, work on yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Tap into the frequencies. Start healing yourself. Get into some tarot every now and then. Just work on yourself. Go to the gym. Um, just kind of full body work on. But I would say the most important thing is internal. Like there's too many people working on the exterior, always focus on the physical, the surface level, the superficial, and that's a problem. It's cool to be healthy, but it's not cool to think that looking a certain way or being superficial on the outside is what's going to determine your overall wellness, just daily, but also life wide, like your entire life going forward. Because it doesn't. It's very minuscule, and at the end of the day, it's going to leave you empty. You got to work on your soul. You got to work on your core. You got to work on your heart. You got to work on your mind, but especially your core. The soul is number one. Soul is number one, guys. Work on your soul, work on your heart, then work on your mind, then you work on your body. So it should be soul first. Work on being more morally positive, more empathetic, more compassionate, more courageous, more positive, more good. You know what I'm saying? More, you know what I'm saying? The highest virtues, the universal truth. More work on that first. Then work on your heart second. Then you work on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind right on intelligence, but not for a means of being an aristocrat and elitist and being like, I know 80 million things you don't know, so I'm better than you. No, not for that, but just to get your mind right so you can do better for yourself, then do better for your family, then do better for your community, and then do better for the world. And then work on your physical. You know what I'm saying? For health reasons, look good and stuff like that. But that's last, you know. So, that's what I would say. And tapping into the frequencies, man. They work. I'm being honest with you, they work. They help. They help a lot. They really do. And thank you. I just want to say thank you for sticking with it, staying with me, and I promise I'm gonna try to do more of these every single week. I'm gonna try to get on this every single week. So thanks, and I'm signing off. This has been the Truth Hour or two with John, and thanks for y'all support. Like, share, subscribe, send this out to your friends, your family, people you don't know. I'm being honest with you. My goal is really to make this a monetized page. My goal is really to get so much influence that I can run for office and win. My goal is to really be so up there where my money and means can help others, help myself, of course, provide for myself, but also provide for my family. And then, like I said, provide for my community, and then provide for the world, provide for my race, you know what I'm saying? Provide for, the humanity, just all of that, like, I'll just keep it at 1,000 with you. This is how I look at it. Helping myself, helping my family, then helping my community. So that includes number one, black people. Nobody else has us but us. And then after that, helping humanity out. Like humanity meaning those who are good, those who are human outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Who do need help, this and that. That's far in between, but number one, the focus is black. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I look at it, straight up. And so, but the focus, just being honest, the focus is always gonna be on my people because nobody else cares. If we don't have each other's back, then who will? Nobody. Everybody else, honestly, whether they overtly